What's up, everybody? This is the Uncanny Omar, and welcome to Near Mint Condition. To my right-hand side, I have a group of people here with me. My right-hand side, who's this guy?
Heyo, it's Omnidog.
From?
Omnidog as well on YouTube.
Thank you. There we go.
Sorry, I forgot about that part.
That's okay. Below me is this gentleman, and who are you?
This is Kurtis from the Epic Marvel Podcast, found at epicmarvelpodcast.com.
Okay. And across down from me is Ødfel. How are you?
And good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Where are you residing these days? Not your physical address, but where can people find you?
Please give us your physical address.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I'm just going to put it in chat. No, I am on Ødfel on pretty much most social medias. I do cosplay and comic related stuff. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining me. Lars will be joining us a little bit late, but he's got the link. And Oaksmeet Pete, I was telling my wife about all your knowledge yesterday about things I did not need to know about ever. Are there any announcements during these lives? Not really, unless they sneak one in. Sometimes it's oversized hardcovers, but here we're looking at prices, content, and covers.
I have an announcement. I uncovered this unpacking.
Oh, nice. The Marvel Illustrated.
Look at that pose, though. I don't think She-Hulk has a spine in this, or else she's Gumby.
No, I'm impressed. That's some yoga.
Yeah.
Wow. You don't sit around the beach like that?
Obviously, that's just the default.
That's exactly how I pose.
I forgot I had this.
Which year is that?
It's the first year.
Okay. Look at that collector's
1991.
I remember that. Mine got torn up. Like I pulled so many posters out of that and hung them on my wall, man.
Oh, I thought you meant your significant other at the time.
No, not that. I hung them on my wall. Kurtis, did you ever have that?
I had the one with the Hildebrandt cover with Gambit and Rogue. I don't remember which year that one was. Don't remember that? Oh,
you're not. No, Uncanny Omar's mic is muted.
Oh,
I was on the phone, man. I figured you guys could talk about the Marvel swimsuit for 5 minutes at least.
Well, you asked me a question. We were expecting a response.
I know, but I do that with everybody. I ask a question and I never really listen to the answer. So this is what I do. My bad. Yes, the Gambit and Rogue. Wow, that's probably 96, 95, 96. Jess has the one from 91. Yeah, I wish one day we get a gallery
Marvel prospectus from when they went public in 91.
Look at that.
That's a collector's item right there.
Yeah.
So many good arts come from these.
Oh my gosh, yes, and so much cheesecake and beefcakes.
Well, no, not the stock prospectus. This is what they send to investors.
I mean, I'm not knocking it if that's your thing, dude.
It was at the time.
The Gambit Rogue one was from 95. He had it too. Kal-El had it too.
Oh, Kal-El.
Yeah, it's just foreshadowing the Marvel swimsuit omnibus. Yes, is this what you're doing, Jess?
Perhaps.
I would buy that.
I think we all would. They could have 10 different variants.
Yeah,
I swear, and they would sell. Oversized hardcovers. Marvel doesn't do those anymore. Yes, they do. Woke NATO. Quit spreading lies. You're as bad as Jess.
What?
Because somebody here we go. Here's line number 1. The Spanish expert Omnidog. What have you been telling people, dude?
I haven't been telling anybody anything. If Rodimus Prime Rib is in the audience today, he will give me something to say in Espanol. Up there it is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, go for it.
Because as the leading Hispanic expert in the comic book community, I always get challenged by Rodimus. Wepa, espero que todos se encuentren bien y que hayan almorzado Taco Bell.
What does it mean?
What accent was that, dude? I feel like it's Irish and Jamaican and maybe
I'm
a
more
little bit
Spanish
of Spanish
than you are at this point. Stop it. I speak more Spanish than you do. I speak it every time Rodimus is in the chat. That's more than you speak it.
Don't do that. I speak it every day. Give me
5 stages of grief on Omar's face.
Yeah, that hurt to listen.
That was beautiful. Rodimus will be the judge.
He's gone. Give me a Silver Surfer Requiem Deluxe and I'll be happy. That's a good one. I can't believe that one hasn't been reprinted yet as a hard. Maybe a gallery edition one day. Thank you so much, Tyson Bird, for the super chat. Any hope for Marvel Civil War Omnibus release in the near future? Probably my most anticipated announcement. After House of M, I was thinking of all the different crossovers and events that they've done in Omnibus format. There really isn't a lot left for events. I think Siege is one. And if they really want to, Fear itself. Those and Civil War being the big one, are about the only ones left from the Marvel events. Am I right, Omnidog?
I think you should really highlight Dorkside Studios' comment from 1233.
Is it going to help answer this question?
No.
I
actually wasn't listening to you. I was looking at people talking about me in the chat.
You're the worst. Never mind. Sins of Sinister hardcover. Yes, that one is a hardcover. It's an oversized hardcover. There you go, Jess, showing that Spanish class. I don't believe Rodimus Prime Rib speaks Spanish. I said it. I don't believe he does. Because anybody that spoke Spanish and heard Jess say that. Okay, yeah, Secret Wars is another one. Operation Galactic Storm wasn't big enough to, it didn't involve the entire Marvel universe, but it would make a nice oversized hardcover because it involved all the Avengers and there's the what if stories. We did get an epic out of that. Yeah, I forgot about Secret Wars. I don't know why. That could be 2 Omnis with all the battle worlds. Jess, you bought all those trade paperbacks, didn't you?
From what?
Oh my God.
Operation Galactic Storm?
No, 2 seconds ago I just said Secret Wars.
Oh, Secret Wars? Yeah, as a matter of fact, those are on one of the few things that are organized on my KLAX over there as I continue to unpack. I have about 30 boxes of books left.
30,000. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I liked a lot of those stories. That would be a really good one.
Where is everybody getting these rumors from? Yo, Omar, how's it going? Are Marvel kind of silently canceling the OHC line? What are you saying on your channel, Jess? It's making me think that you're the one starting these rumors. There seems to be way less, and sometimes it is months without a new one. There is, that is a fact, though. There are a lot less than there used to be, and that's mainly because I feel like there's a lot less because they've decided to go the omnibus route more. Kind of like there's a lot less fat trades and more epic collections these days. Instead of branding 3 different things and then later on re-releasing something as an omnibus, they're just marking it an omnibus and labeling that. The same thing with modern. Or maybe that's why they started the modern epic collections. That's what it feels like to me, because they're focused more on the omnibus brand and less on the oversized hardcovers. There are still oversized hardcovers coming. Like Dan Slott's Fantastic Four Volume 4. I haven't announced it, but that one is coming in December, I believe. And then there's one in this catalog or in this solicitations. So it's not that they've done away with them 100%. They'll still be coming out. Omar, you forgot Siege too. No, I did not. I actually said Siege. I said Siege. I forgot Secret Wars. I did forget Secret Wars. Do you think we'll ever get an Anacenti Daredevil omnibus?
Yes, because I have all the epics right there, and that is the sign that we're getting one.
It's when one goes out of print and you need it. Then you go and buy it. What do you think, Kurtis? You're the epic guy. Has everything been released from Anacenti's run in epic format now?
Yep, it's all there. So if you want it, you can get it. In fact, they've even been reprinting the volumes of her run that have been out of print. So it's pretty much readily available for you. I don't know. I think that Daredevil has been consistently great throughout the years, and so I'm sure they'll get an omnibus of her work at some point.
Yeah, I think so. This is how it happens. Where's Owen? I'm about to make a custom bound Omni for Nascenti's Daredevil at this point. As soon as you get a shipping confirmation, Owen, from the bindery, that's when I'll make an announcement, and you're going to be like, dang it, I should have waited. But you can look at it this way. It's because of you, the universe decided to give us an Nascenti omnibus. That's how it happens. I'm sure it will. We definitely have a lot of runs that Marvel could do in omnibus format still. and it shows that people are faithful to keep buying them. Like Peter David's Incredible Hulk Omnibus, it's creator centric. You could do the same thing with Captain America by Mark Rumwald and Tom DeFalco's run on Thor and Fantastic Four. Although I would like to see Fantastic Four by Walter Simonson, though. That would be cool. It's all in that epic.
I actually have something serious to say for the first time in my life. There's a question here from Zeti Messiak. Any hope for X-Men Dawn of X Omnibus? I think people have been not collecting those Dawn of X and Reign of X trades, and now we're into the other trades, and then they go out of print because they're waiting for hardcovers and omnis and stuff. And I think you've addressed that previously, that they probably will not make an omni of those Dawn of X things, that they select the best-selling runs out of there and make OHCs out of them. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is so people will pick up those trades if they're interested, because now a bunch of those Dawn of X trades are out of print. I know you're not used to my being serious ever, but that's the serious Marvel thing I have.
It is a good question, and then it's one that I get often. And I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know the answer to that. I'm sure it will come one day. I just don't know when. Right now, they're focusing on the anthology trades, and they're focusing on the individual hardcovers, like you mentioned. The individual hardcovers, though, go out of print, too, because that Marauders Volume 1 is gone. And I believe so is Excalibur Volume 1. And the only reason I know is because people message me, hey, Omar, when is this going to come back to print? And I'm like, oh, I didn't know it was out of print. And they rarely reprint oversized hardcovers. I think in due time, I mean, maybe when this era is over, because that's the thing, right? Like, if they do it now, how much longer are they going to go? Do they know the plan? Do they know the end game of this era? Because if you do it now, you can map it and have, 2, 3, oh my gosh, 3 omnis. That's a lot. But if you have like 20 issues left, why not absorb those into 3 omnis instead of making a 4th omni? I'm just, hypothetically speaking, I'm sure that's what they're waiting for the for this era to end. So, yeah, that's one that I get asked that about often, and I'm about to do another reading order for this era, and I'm sure I'm going to be asked again, when are the omnis coming? And I really don't know.
It's also it's really interesting they chose to release them almost in triplicate that way too, because there was the floppies, there was the Dawn of X's that came out as quickly as humanly possible, and then like individual trade paperbacks and stuff for Marauders. Because I felt like if people were invested enough to be reading every title, they were buying the floppies, and if people weren't, they were just buying the individual trades. So like when I worked at an LCS, like the Dawn and Reign of X stuff was very unpopular to pick up because they either had everything already and were waiting for those more premium releases because they already had all the individuals, or they were like, I only care about Excalibur. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, because they honestly weren't the most popular for especially new readers to pick up because they were kind of intimidating.
So you're saying there's a mindset out there that doesn't buy everything in a line? Like, I bought all 1 through 16 of Dawn of X and then all of Reign of X. People actually, okay, I can't get that. I'm a hoarder, so
it's
wild. It's unheard of.
It's called self-control, I think. I've heard about it.
That's what this 0 is for right here. 0.
That is an O for Omar. We all know that.
If it was for Omar, it'd be VF for very fine.
What? Thank you for that compliment, Jess.
Very fine condition is the name.
I'm going to take this super chat right now. It's from Sebastian. Thank you so much for the super chat. Any chance of a Wolverine, Daniel Way, or Jason Aaron Omni? Well, the Jason Aaron Omnis have been out. The first 2 are out of print. The third one, which is Wolverine and the X-Men, that one just came back to print last year. I'm sure those will be reprinted. And then every February, we take a poll to see what you all want reprinted. So come back to the channel and we'll do that. I'm curious to see how this year works out, because I haven't finished. And that's the thing. I haven't finished announcing all the books yet. So I don't want to put them on the list if they're going to be reprinted. Let's see here. Ødfel should narrate audiobooks or something. She's got a great voice.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think you misspelled Uncanny Omar, but that's okay. All's forgiven. Jess is really we're gonna do this today in my house.
This is the greatest comment ever.
This is why you like coming here.
I do.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Smash that like button while you're here, please, and do yourself a favor. Check out these wonderful folks and all their channels because they are good people. All right, let's get started. And I know I'm gonna ask the question and always regret it. Can it be bigger, or is this big enough? Yes, I'll wait for the answers. Do you want our faces here on the side, or we can do it full screen like this? You all let us know. But for now, we'll do it like this. Bradley is asking about Kyle Ray. I wish I knew. I actually got an email back from my contact at DC. We talked back and forth on Monday. I'll talk a little bit about that on Saturday's live stream. Just mid condition. Omar just rinsed. Oh my gosh. I miss you guys, even though your videos have been hurting my wallet lately. I'm so sorry, Jake.
Jake's a great guy.
Bless you and your wallet, and thank you for the super chat. Full screen. Rodimus Prime Rib does not want to see our faces.
Why am I here then?
I don't get it.
Yeah, no.
All right, bigger. I'm gonna go one more big. Oh my gosh, that's huge.
There you go.
Okay, let's rock and roll. So kicking it off, man. I'm gonna tell you something. The solicitations in here are freaking awesome. I'm so sorry for your wallets though, but there's so many good books in here. Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 3. Collecting Ultimate Spider-Man 72 to 111, annuals 1 and 2, $125, 1,088 pages with 3 covers, all by Bagley. This is the 100th issue cover, the Moon Knight cover, cashing in on the popularity of that guy, even the Ultimate version, and another Carnage cover. You guys read this, right? Everyone here, maybe? Jess?
I was collecting this when it came out, and I still enjoyed it. Up until this point, all of the other Ultimate stuff, I was like, I could give or take, but I still enjoyed Ultimate Spider-Man even through issue 100.
I read 1 through 7 so far of the hardcovers I have. I need to finish it. But I loved everything that I've read 1 through 7.
Where you at, Ødfel?
I have read like almost no Spider-Man. I think the only thing I've read was one that came out last year. It was the Symbiote Spider-Man run. So I am very illiterate with Spider-Man things.
All right. Okay, then we need to fix that.
Got to jump in somewhere.
I'm gonna help you out. All right. So yes, this is the run that broke the Stan Lee and Jack Kirby run of consecutive issues, right?
Yeah.
Went all the way, man. It's crazy. Stuart Eminem jumping like Mark Bagley just never went anywhere except his basement and drew Spider-Man for years. And Amazing Spider-Man. Oh my gosh, a Patrick Gleason cover. By Nick Spencer, Omnibus Volume 2, collecting the rest of Nick Spencer's run, 44 to 73, 74 A and B stories. Number 50 LR, that's the last rights. And all the way to 54.LR. Amazing Spider-Man Sin's Rising Prelude, The Amazing Spider-Man, The Sins of Norman Osborn, Giant Size Spider-Man, King's Ransom, Giant Size Amazing Spider-Man, The Chameleon Conspiracy, and the 4-issue Sinister War. This one is 1,336 pages, $150. I think the first one was $125, if I'm not mistaken. But this is everything as far as Nick Spencer's run. And then after this is where Spider-Man Beyond takes place, if you want to read that after this. I believe this is the first time I've heard somebody ask for a Starjammers collection, but I agree with that.
I agree. I would love a Starjammers collection.
Thank you, Joe. It is Last Remains. Jess, where were you, buddy? You're supposed to correct me on that. I said Last Rights.
I was looking at the previous ones, Beanie and Cecil Avatar. Sorry.
Okay.
That was the Oxmeat Pete. Sorry.
But there you go. There you go. And it is the Gleason cover.
That's boss.
The Gleason covers are so good.
I agree. That is freaking awesome.
So good.
Ødfel, were you working in an LCS when those were on sale?
Yes, I was. Yes,
And
I
were
was.
Were they really popular?
They were extremely popular because they also they released a handful of them on different spider related titles too. And the thing they did was the first printings were white, the second printings were like red, the third printings.
Are you guys still here?
What happened there? I'm here.
I don't know. That was
I'm
really
here,
weird.
I think.
That was a weird glitch. Can't find Jess though. Maybe he's
No.
disconnected. I blame Jess. So
Oh, Omar's gone again too. Something's going on here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could continue the conversation. You were telling us about those covers, the different
Yeah.
colors and whatnot.
So they released different ones. There's like a Venom, a Carnage, a Spider-Man, all in the Gleason style, and they released each print with a different color. So a lot of avid collectors that like wanted every cover would come back because they were different color variants. And I mean, some of them are like even more expensive, and it was like a whole Gleason economy for a couple months. It was insane.
Was
well,
it?
I'm glad
watched-
you guys kept talking because I have no idea what's going on. I don't know if it's the internet or actually StreamYard, because if it's the internet, it should just back me off and you guys should keep going. But it completely killed everything.
Yeah,
I got booted.
I don't know what happened. Let me share the screen again, and we can go back to doing this. You
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
carry on without me if it happens, and if we're stuck on one image, then you just BS until I get back.
I was gone too, I think.
Yeah, it booted me completely out. I thought maybe my internet crashed.
Okay.
Okay, so then it's StreamYard. Then okay, I don't know what happened. I'm just gonna blame this guy down here.
Yeah, probably Lars's
Norwegian
fault.
assassin. Lars, what did
Yep.
you do? How did you break the internet?
A lady never likes to tell such things. Yes,
Wow.
yes. We have to keep our secrets.
Starting it like that. Okay.
Yes. Thank you for having me join you late. I imagine you've announced all the omnibuses that I most feverishly wanted, including that Legion of Superheroes one, which would be odd because this is Marvel and not DC. But that's the sort of trickery I think you get up to when I'm not around.
No, I would not announce anything of such. I'm just actually we're just going through the beginning of the list, so you
Perfect.
came at the right time.
Perfect. My
StreamYard
timing is
has been
impeccable.
Acting sus lately. Yeah, and I pay for the highest tier, so somebody's gonna get a phone call. I'm gonna go all.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go all Yolanda on them. That's Latina Karen, by the way, if you don't know. All right, the Avengers Omnibus
Yolanda.
Volume 3. This is the new printing, collecting Avengers 59 through 88, Incredible Hulk 140, Marvel Superhero 17, and material from Not Brand. What, Kurtis?
Brand
Thank you for that. $100, 768 pages, and Volume 4 right behind it. By the way, 2 covers.
Wow.
Right behind it on this, I believe both of them, September of 2023. This goes all the way to 119, Daredevil 99, and Defenders 8 through 11. That means Avengers Defenders War. And $100, 856 pages. That's how much they were before. So good on
Are
good
those
on
the
them.
same? Are those the same covers they had before, or are those new?
Yeah, those are the same covers.
Okay.
Mhm.
They're nice.
And Avengers Omnibus Volume 5. No modern cover for this one, just 2 classic covers. And this one has Avengers 120 to 149, Giant Size Avengers 1 through 4, Captain Marvel 33, Fantastic Four 150, and material from Foom 6 and 7 and 12, 848 pages, $100. Stuff that has never been collected in omnibus format in here. So very happy for this one. Hellcat and Beast joined the team. Oh, and I think Moondragon joins them too. This is the Steve Englehart era. You all have read this already, I assume, maybe in epic format.
Yeah, we have this era in epics already. Steve Englehart's great. I enjoy all of his work, and I haven't read the second half of the stuff that's in this omnibus, but I've read the Secret Defenders War. That's the Avengers Defenders War, and the stuff that comes just after that. And it's a lot of fun. It's just classic comic writing, and if you like the stuff from the 70s, then you'll be right at home here too.
And remaining at the low price, I can't believe I'm saying that, about $100. But seriously, these days, $100. $100 is at
Um,
least it's consistent with the other ones.
Yeah.
And speaking of consistency, before you even ask, will they change the spines? Yes, probably. Like 99% sure if you know that they will change the spines. So it's interesting to be from this side of things where I see some of my viewers are like, well, I'm gonna get a custom dust jacket, or I'm going to sell mine and buy all of them all over again. It's up to you all to do whatever you want to, but yeah. All right, so they are reprinting Captain America Lives. I talked to David about this because the trial of Captain America is in the same
Nice.
catalog or solicitations, and he said that they are out of stock on this one, so that's why this is going back to print. And the important thing to note about these is that they will have a volume number in the back now. These new printings will have a new volume number, because these kind of get confusing. If it wasn't for some guy on YouTube telling you how to read these in reading order, it gets a little bit confusing as to how these books are supposed to be read. So much like the Epic line, not on the spine, there will be a volume number on the back. So this will have a volume 3, and this will have a volume 4. So
Cool.
collecting Captain America 43 through 50, 600 and 601, Captain America Reborn 1 through 6, and the digital prologue, 560 pages, $75. And then the trial of Captain America. Collecting Captain America, who will wield the shield, and Captain America 602 to 619, 615.1. Steve Rogers, Super Soldier 1 through 4, Captain America 1 through 10, 928 pages, $100. And both of these now, well, this one had a direct market cover, but now this one will have the direct market cover too. This is the Steve McNiven one. And there will be one more volume not announced as of yet. Another biggie that people have asked me for, and now you have your answer as to how that cover is going to show up.
Yeah.
But this is Thor by Jason Aaron Omnibus Volume 2. You have 2 covers instead of 3 this time around. Surprised we didn't get a Mike Del Mundo cover because he was the main artist on towards the end of the book. But you have a Russell Dodderman cover, which is the standard edition, and then the Olivier Coipel cover for the direct market. And this collects the rest of Thor, and to answer the big question, also collecting all of War of the Realms, the event, not the tie-ins. So Mighty Thor 13 through 23, 700 to 706, Unworthy Thor for the first time collected in oversized format, Generations Unworthy Thor and Mighty Thor, At the Gates of Valhalla, Thor 1 through 16, that's after he gets renumbered, War of the Realms, and then to wrap it up, King Thor 1 through 4, 1,368 pages, $150. Have you all read all of this?
I have.
Most.
Okay.
I have.
Right.
Yeah, this is basically Jason Aaron's, magnus opus, and it's really welcome that we're getting a volume 2. The dirties. This in a way is kind of Thor for people who might not necessarily like Thor. At the risk of being heresy, I was never really that into classic Thor.
Same here.
Yeah, it just wasn't either because of the Shakespearean.
But he just comes across as a caricature. He only seems to have 3 emotional settings, and again, it's not to say that Walt Simonson isn't a great artist. He is, and it's not to say that Walt Simonson can't tell a great story. He can. It's just Thor. He wasn't a character until we hit like the Ultimate Era, and I feel like.
Okay, Lars, you took it too far.
Okay, I took it too far.
Yeah,
but Jason Aaron run is a very nuanced telling of it. And,
it is. It's
I agree with
definitely very new reader friendly.
Yeah.
And the dialogue he speaks is very easy to read compared to that Shakespearean English that a lot of people have issues with Thor, especially the Stan Lee stuff. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is the first Thor I've ever really, really enjoyed.
Now, I will say Walter Simonson's Thor, though, man.
Yeah, no, I
enjoyed
that, but I love this.
The Ragnarok story, Scourge. Oh, that still gets me every time.
And again, I'm not actually slamming Simonson. I think Simonson's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But Thor he only seemed to have 3 modes. He was swearing to pound the crap out of somebody, mourning a fallen comrade, or partying. That was it. He couldn't do anything else. Whereas in this particular story, under Jason Aaron's hand, he gets quite thoughtful. Yeah.
And King Thor is a really strong way to finish this too. Like I skipped War of the Realms, but I was reading Jason Aaron's run on and off throughout all of its title changes. But King Thor is a very strong way to end this, and I think, especially if you're a new reader trying to jump in, this is a really good mix of stuff to fall in love with Thor. Frankly, at least I think so. But I'm biased. I liked this run.
Larson,
Barely.
have words with thee.
Everyone wants to have words with me.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to wait a long
The
time.
level of respect for you was down here, Lars. And
That's
now-
why I'm at the bottom. I'm at the bottom of these Hollywood squares.
You're like under the epic collectors now, man. Bottom of the boot, man. All right. Just kidding, Kurtis. You know I love you and your folks.
But anyway, I will be buying this. I will be Thor by Jason Aaron Omnibus Volume 2. Yeah, I'll be buying that one.
Okay. We have X-Men The Hidden Years Omnibus, the Byrne. This is the Byrne series. If you're not familiar with this is a retcon series where he shoehorns stories of the X-Men after they were canceled. And this is collecting all 22 issues of that. Fantastic Four 102 to 104. Very interesting that that's in there. And material from X-Men 94 and Adult Fantasy number 14. For the people that are asking, why didn't they add it's always darkest before the dawn?
Yeah.
Well, I asked, and I was politely told no. But I was told yes about something that I haven't announced yet. So that I'll take that win over this one. This one, at least I got, hey, that would make a very good omnibus by itself. And I said, leave it alone. So you all can decide. That was just something I wanted to throw at them. Yeah. How do we get X-Men the Hidden Years Omni before Generation X? Well, Kurtis didn't buy enough copies of Gen X Epic Collections and give them to his family. That's why.
that might be part of the calculus that, because this has never been collected in epic form. So,
well, and it's long out of print, the trade paperbacks of this era.
That's what I have this in.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know if y'all have read this. It's definitely John Byrne taking lots of liberties with this era.
Well, yeah, this is from later in Byrne's tenure. Yeah. And there is an unfortunate sense that he's past his imperial phase when he does this. I'm not saying it's
no. You bring up a really good point, because I think we all have a different definition of what peak Byrne is, right? Yeah. Like, what is peak Byrne? Yeah. Because for me, I think like when he was doing She-Hulk and when he was doing when he came back to do Superman, Man of Steel, of course he had different inkers. I thought that was like where he was at his prime. Doing Next, I never really cared for his inks on Next Men. And by that point, I think like his art has just gotten too sketchy. One of my viewers sent me John Byrne's comment on this omnibus after my announcement, and it was very John Byrne. It was along the lines of, "Oh, now they give a rat's booty that about this series." Anyway, not quite in those words.
Language.
But like I said, very John Byrne, in his own
your
way.
Wife with that mouth? Well, yeah. No, I mean, Byrne is an astonishing creator. Just how good he was. And prolific for so long that he would be doing 2 books a month, and the quality would be astonishingly high. It's unbelievable. But you get later into the 90s, and he does start to go off the boil. Also, the story he's telling isn't really keeping up with the times, is the thing. So yeah, so it's still good. It's just not what we come to expect from John Byrne.
Here we have Wolverine Omnibus Volume 4. Yes. Love it. Wolverine 60 through 75, Inner Fury, Killing, Global Jeopardy, Wolverine and the Punisher, Damaging Evidence, Sabretooth. Yes, I love that miniseries. It's got, what's her name in it? Birdie. Spider-Man, Punisher, Sabretooth, Designer Jeans. Not the Rob Liefeld button your fly jeans. X-Men 25, and material from Marvel Comics Presents 109 and 142. Marvel Holiday Special number 2. Holy crap. I love this era. Not as good as Volume 3, but this era is up there too. There's some really good moments in this. 1,176 pages, $125. The covers, man. Because this is when Adam Kubert took over the run with issue 75. So, like, this is the image. I don't know if y'all remember where this image is from, but this is the image from the trading card not a trading card, but it was the card, the holographic card. You would know what it was called, Lars. What were those cards called in Fatal Attractions? They weren't holographic. They were some kind of new 3D technology.
Yeah, I know which one you mean. I don't quite recall. I should have maybe held on to I remember doing this thing at Wizard about an article about goofs, because the covers you're talking about, a stack of the Wolverines arrived and the hologram had been stamped on upside down.
Oh.
And you start having delusions of like, that airplane that's stamped on upside down. And you're like, well, these are going to be worth millions. And it turns out that most goofs are just goofs.
Well, it's interesting that they went with the card, because for the variant cover, they went with the cover instead of the card, which is a very iconic cover by Andy Kubert.
Mm-hmm.
So it's both brothers, Adam and Andy. I think that's the first time in an omnibus that we've had 2 variants by both brothers.
Yeah.
And then I think that's the one I'm going to go for, is the text cover.
There's some really
that is an awesome cover. That's from the Marvel Age.
Yeah.
That text cover is that's so good.
Yeah,
and he did the artwork in a lot of these issues and the 4-issue miniseries of Sabretooth.
There's some really good stuff in here. It's worth getting. I tend to be getting the Epic collections for Wolverine. I don't know why. So I am. So I am buying this material
because they're better. We got this stuff first.
Okay, Kurtis, tell me, where can you find those Marvel Comics Presents issues in the Epic format?
They're coming. They're coming.
I can't hear you, Kurtis. What was that? Oh, you're right, Omar. Okay. Well.
Oh, goody! I want to read this.
Okay. The first issue of this was.
Don't spoil it, Lars.
I was going to say it was really good.
Okay. That's
It was scorchingly good.
Okay. I wait to read this.
I read issue 1 yesterday, and so it's only issue 1, but wow.
Yeah. So this one's coming
really
out.
Good.
Sins of Sinister. This is the latest crossover, or rather event in the Destiny of X era.
Yeah.
So we have Sins of Sinister 1, Immortal X-Men 1 through 3, Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants 3-issue mini, Nightcrawlers 3 issues, and Sins of Sinister Dominion 344 pages, $75, which is about the same price and page count of Death and Lives of Wolverine, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or was that 100?
I think that was 75.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it wasn't still in a box, I could go find it.
Yeah. Even so, thank you to Marvel for putting this on hardcover. Because I think like the Eternals storyline they did in the summer, they were putting out in soft cover. And
the Judgment.
Yeah. And I prefer to buy these in hardcover myself, but yeah. So I will absolutely buy this one.
Woke NATO US if they're done with oversized hardcovers, and now you're hating on it. They'll win, man. No, but I feel you. I mean, that's why I said it's $75 price point. I think that's how much Wolverine was, if not.
Yes, but that was deemed to be a ripoff. Although, again, with the online discounts, I don't particularly object to this because I won't pay $75. I'll pay the discount rate.
Andrew, to answer your question, Marvel doesn't really do standard size hardcovers. When you see our HC on here, it's a oversized hardcover, and they tell you the trim size down here: 7 1/4 by 10 7/8. Let's look at it. I haven't gotten to the trades yet. The trades are smaller, but if you look at the trim size there, it's the same as an omnibus. So it tells you how big they are. If ever you have questions, and usually places like Amazon or any of our sponsors, they will have the trim size there.
Yeah. So we'll see how this story goes, but so far this is a must buy. Must buy.
Well, I've been enjoying X-Men Red and Immortal X-Men a lot. So
yeah.
All right, Marvel's Omnibus returns. So not only are people getting an omnibus reprint of the first Marvel Zombies, but they're getting a follow-up series. Deadpool, Merc with a Mouth, which was already collected in one of the Omnis, right? Or was it a minibus? One of those collected those issues. Zombies Christmas Carol, Marvel Zombies Destroy, Zombies Halloween, Marvel Zombies 2015, Age of Ultron. That 2015 is a Battle World story, though, from Secret Wars. Age of Ultron versus Marvel Zombies, another Battle World story. Marvel Zombie #1, Zombies Resurrection, and Marvel Zombies Resurrection 1 through 4. And that Battle World story features Elsa Bloodstone, and it is a freaking awesome story.
It is. It's one of the few Battle Worlds I picked up.
If you have not read it. And fake news, Masterworks are not oversized. Correct. Because they're Masterworks.
Yeah.
Did you just actually mean Jesus? Good catch, though. And at this moment, I just want to remind everybody to hit that like button, please. Alpha Flight being reprinted. Now,
yeah,
I asked about this one. I don't know. I never heard back from David if they could rename this one to Alpha Flight Volume 1 instead of Alpha Flight by John Byrne.
but that would set up the expectation of having a volume 2.
Exactly, which is what we did with Excalibur.
Yes.
Instead of making it a Claremont and Alan Davis, I was like, why not make it a Volume 1? And there's hopes for a Volume 2 at least. And
It depends if they want to set up those expectations or not.
Well, why would you not? It's Alpha Flight. Then you got Bill.
Well,
Medley.
okay, I don't know.
This
This is
Marvel work.
This is an interesting question because, first of all, I think this is wonderful, and I shamefully missed it out I missed it the first time. I will buy it.
What's a Volume 2? Am I the only one that liked Mike Mignola and Bill Medley's run?
Yeah, here's the problem. I worry that Alpha Flight by John, I don't know the numbers, but Alpha Flight by John Byrne might sell appreciably better than all other Alpha Flight. And so I don't know if Marvel is keen or not to do more of these. That might be the reason we don't have an Epic collection, because if they did an Epic series, they'd set up the expectation that, we're going to do a whole bunch more. And if they are, great, but maybe they aren't. But I will buy this one. I will definitely buy this one.
I mean, I can't imagine Alpha Flight not selling more than Power Pack and Cloak and Dagger, and both of those got a Volume 2.
Yeah, I mean,
Lars, you already made me mad with the comment about Walter Simonson's
Curtis, I've said something.
Cloak and Dagger.
Curtis, please field this one.
Cloak and Dagger was in conjunction with the TV series, though, so it had that tie-in aspect to it. Alpha Flight doesn't have that.
I think more people bought the omnibus of Cloak and Dagger than they watched the TV show.
Oh, I'm sure they did, but there was the
here,
corporate synergy going on, right? Alpha Flight doesn't have that. This is the same reason why X-Men: The Hidden Years is coming out before Generation X Omnibus, is because it had John Byrne's name on it.
Yeah.
Burn
sells. He just
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I'm not arguing that fact. Okay. You're both wrong though.
There's no argument to be had because you've got the correct answer.
I don't have the answers.
I'm going to buy that art book so fast.
Oh, okay.
That's all I want to say.
Did you like the Werewolf by Night?
I loved it. I like black and white horror. I like classic horror, and I love Elsa Bloodstone. So it was really everything I wanted. I thought it was campy in the best way.
Absolutely. Have you all seen this one already?
Yeah,
Jess?
I love this.
Yeah, it was good. It's one of my favorite things that Marvel put out in Phase 4. I would not be opposed to them doing that every year on October. They did something like this.
Give us a fun, campy Halloween special. I will always tune in.
Oh, yeah. I want to see a Man-Thing
named Ted.
Yeah, I guess Man-Thing doesn't. I just realized what I said. Forget it. Yeah,
I want James able to clip that.
No, don't bring James into this. Mighty Thor Marvel Masterworks Volume 22. And now, oh my gosh, are we really in? Oh wow, issues 328 to 336 of Thor. And Jesus is right. This is the trim size of a standard size hardcover. And Annual 11 and Marvel graphic novel Thor, I Whom the Gods Would Destroy. 328 to 336. Has this been collected in Epic yet, Curtis? Not yet, right?
Yes, sir, it has.
Okay. What's the name of the Epic?
It's
before Rune Quest.
It's oh man, I can't remember now. Hold on a second. It was one of the first ones to be released. What's that one called? It's way over there.
Verily, thine art a fool, probably.
I know it's
Kingdom
before
Lost. The Kingdom Lost.
Okay. Thank you, Curtis.
Yeah.
And Marvel Masterworks this is the Remasterworks program. So this is Volume 2. It's a reprint of Volume 2, which is Fantastic Four Volume 2, collecting issues 11 through 20 and annual number 1, and there will be the direct market cover. And this has the best restoration and apparently more page counts than the previous printing. So I guess we'll find out what that is. Amazing Spider-Man, another Remasterworks Volume 2, collecting Amazing Spider-Man 11 through 19 and Amazing Spider-Man Annual 1. I know Lars and Jess, you have Masterworks, right?
Yeah, of 3. I only collect 3 characters.
What series do you have?
Ghost Rider, Spider-Woman, and the best one, Dazzler.
Wow. Okay.
Dazzler's got a fan following. Kurtis does not like Dazzler.
I know,
but
I'm
he's
speaking to him. But
False information. I've just never read Dazzler.
Oh, okay. Close
so
enough.
I cannot make a informed opinion.
Lars, which do you collect?
I collect Uncanny X-Men, Byrne Fantastic Four, and Miller Daredevil.
So you're only getting Byrne and Miller's runs.
Yeah, and actually occasionally other stuff. I have some of the early Perez run on Avengers. I have that in Masterworks as well. So I'm kind of selective.
Do Masterworks sell well? I don't know anyone that personally buys them. Oh man, you need to quit hanging around poor folks.
Well,
Masterworks are expensive, dude.
It's the price point times X amount of copies means I suspect they're quite profitable, and also the sales are probably reliable because I'm more selective, but for most people, the people who are going to buy Thor Volume 22 bought Thor Volume 21.
Yeah, there is a following for this, obviously, if they're reprinting them and if they keep making them.
Yeah.
It's just that when Omnis were announced, that people have gotten, I did it. I sold all my Masterworks and went the Marvel Omnibus route because I thought, well, one day, and these contain the letter pages, whereas the Masterworks didn't. I don't know if the Remasterworks will or not, but they definitely set the bar high as far as quality, though.
Yeah.
Whenever you open one up, they're beautiful books.
It may or may not also be a good opportunity to pay for the restoration.
Yeah, and that restoration helps the other Silver Age books get quickly put into a Silver Age omnibus.
Yep.
We're moving into the modern stuff, which is Fantastic Four by Ryan North. I can't wait to read this. It's past the Don Slott era, or Dan Slott, not Don Slott. Whatever happened to the Fantastic Four? Ivan Coelho, whose artwork I've grown to love in the last couple of years. Glad that he's getting a big series like FF. And this collects the first 6 issues. Has anybody here read any of Ryan North's issue? I know he did Squirrel Girl, and that has a fine following. I know
Ryan North is brilliant. If you've read his Choose Your Own Adventures for Hamlet and
I have not.
Juliet, they are wonderful. But I've not read this yet.
Comic Pages is saying that Fantastic Four by Ryan North is excellent. Big fan of Ivan Coelho, so I have high hopes for this. And there's that Alex Ross piece. Oh, wow, that is.
I love the color.
So he's doing all the covers, I think, for the series.
Okay.
I have no idea how that guy's so fast. Star Wars Darth Vader by Greg Pak, another series that is so good. I've been digging this one. Collecting issues 28 through 32. And The High Republic, The Blade, collecting all 4 issues of that miniseries. This one written by Charles Soule. The High Republic is that era of books and children's books and manga and a TV show. It was a TV show, I think, that was coming out. And it's all kind of one. They're trying to bring the EU back, the expanded universe. Daniel, where the electricity on this island is poop, but I can afford some of those Texas de Brasil. Claro que sí, hermano. Star Wars Hidden Empire. This is the last event that goes War of the Bounty Hunters, the Crimson Dawn. Crimson Dawn is X-Men. Crimson Reign, Crimson Empire. I can't keep up.
Crimson Empire.
Okay, and then this is the last one. So this finishes out that trilogy with these characters. And Captain America: Symbol of Truth, Volume 2. and Tochi Onyibuki. Oh my goodness, I'm so
Go
sorry.
for it.
Nope. Kurtis, help me out here, brother.
Well, I'm sure the first part is Onye Buchi, probably. But
Okay.
I have not heard it pronounced, so I can't say for sure.
Well, this is the current Captain America run, so it's got Sam Wilson back with the shield. Black Panther, and this is John Ridley finishing. I think he's finishing out his run because I heard somewhere that Eve Ewing is taking over Captain America, but Black Panther.
Oh.
And Black Panther by John Ridley, yeah, ups and downs. However, I will say this: Eve Ewing was one of these creators that came, I believe, she was a poet, and they hired her to do Ironheart. I wasn't a fan of Ironheart during Bendis's run, but oh my gosh, I loved her run of Ironheart because she brought in some characters from the New Warriors, and I'm like, that's all you need. And the stories were really good. Like, she made her character likable instead of like a one-dimensional tropey type of character. And she only did it for 8 issues because nobody was reading it. So I'm excited to read it. The reason I knew about that was because somebody was asking what I thought about it. Had emailed me and asking me. I'm like, oh, I actually like Eve Ewing's Ironheart. I don't know if she's, how she'll do on Black Panther, but I guess we'll see. Yes, I agree, Rick. It started. Ridley's Black Panther started strong, but
that's a shame. I've enjoyed his writing elsewhere. I've enjoyed the other things he's done. I've not read this, but yeah, it's a great.
Oh no, he's a solid writer, and it's ups and downs. And I haven't read the last trade paperback, so it could end on a.
Okay.
Thor: The Legacy of Thanos. Donny Cates, Al Ewing. So collecting issues 27 through 30, and Death Notes. I think this is the last of Donny Cates before he left.
I believe so.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope he's doing okay. He just left everything, I think. Because he also left Hulk. Now Greg Pak has come. Well, no, this is the miniseries, but Ryan Otley was doing Hulk for a while. I think he ended up leaving too. So I don't know what's going on. I have something in his personal life that decided to just get up and leave comics, but
yeah,
it was really weird.
I am poised and ready to buy the Planet Hulk Omnibus reprint that's coming out really soon here because it's just I just didn't get around to it the first time around, but I'm like, oh, I should really do that. So
it's a great story.
I'm gonna pick that up. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah.
Donny Cates' story was really fun too. So like he did a good job. It was unhinged in a fun way.
Cody's saying he didn't even write those issues. It was plotted and someone else scripted. Yeah, that's what I think. I don't know what's whatever is going on. I hope he's doing okay mentally and
for real.
Because I think he's checked out of everything. I know he left social media. I think
he left at least Twitter, but Twitter's Twitter.
We should all be so fortunate.
Yeah.
Smart move.
Yes.
I'm actually enjoying Gold Goblin. I think it's 3 books in. Well, this is all 5 issues. You're like, oh, Chris Cantwell. I like that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that cover a spoiler or is it just the bad reflection? Who's the Gold Goblin? Unforgiven. Is that Blade?
Looks like.
Collecting Spider-Man Unforgiven, X-Men Unforgiven, Captain America Unforgiven.
Blade is now the sheriff of Dracula's vampire nation. Okay.
What? That sounds awesome.
It does sound good, doesn't it?
Including former vampire Jubilee. Nobody calls her that. Nobody calls her that.
Is that something you put down on a resume? Former vampire.
Oh, poor Jubilee. Well, at least she was doing something for a while besides being depowered. That's why I like New Warriors. That volume 4, I think. Spider-Man Lost Hunt. I've been wanting to read this. So this is J.M. DeMatteis going back because we've already had a sequel, right? What was it? Spirits of the Earth. Is that what it was called? Kurtis, do you remember that?
No, I don't remember.
What was it called? It's the follow-up to Kraven's Last Hunt.
Yeah, what was it called?
Soul of the Hunter.
Soul of the Hunter. Yeah, Soul of the Hunter. There you go.
Hey, look at Jess's brain.
I just look at the chat and Rick Ray has the answers.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, of course.
Thank you all.
I'm not even going to pretend I knew that.
Last I read of Cates, he was traveling with his wife, getting some R&R. Good for him. Good for him.
No, absolutely. J.M. DeMatteis always good. Frustratingly, doesn't put out a lot of material. I must say, I think he was one of the writers on Scooby-Doo Apocalypse, which I thought was great.
That's a good series.
That is
It was
fun.
really good. Yeah. So I haven't read this, but this should be good.
I was really hoping that DC would give us like a complete omnibus of that stuff because it is really good.
Yeah.
I love that they did the same thing with Ant-Man with this cover right here for Wasp, Small Worlds. And it is a Tom Riley cover. Yeah, the Ant-Man by Al Ewing also had that. So this is the Wasp series 1 through 4, and then Tales to Astonish 44. So that's the Stan Lee and Jack Kirby story, but Al Ewing and Ernie Hart with Cassiani is the artist. I like the Ant-Man one by Al Ewing, so I hope that one is good. And I heard this was funny. The new Deadpool series. This is by Alyssa Wong. So this collects issues 1 through 5, and then material from the New Mutants 30. Is that Aya? What's her name? Who's the writer on New Mutants?
It's changed a couple times, and I'm trying to remember who's on it now.
I have to confess, I've lost track.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Children of the Atom.
New Mutants.
What's that?
Who reads New Mutants anyway?
What is wrong with you? Oh, well, this is the new stuff. I mean, not everybody does. Dang it, who the heck is it? Not Teeny Howard. Vida Ayala. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rick. Rick Ray is quick on that, man.
He is.
And Charlie Jane Anders is on New Mutants now. Thank you. Thank you for that.
That's right.
It keeps changing. So they keep dropping the trade paperbacks as issue 1s, and I'm getting really mad at having like 82 trade paperbacks that say number 1.
Well, there's no hardcovers for that series for one thing, which is a bit odd.
Living the Vida Ayala. All right, Trials of X, Volume 11. That's a Ryan Stegman Sabretooth cover right there. So, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're actually collecting Sabretooth in these. People kept asking me, and I'm like, I don't think Sabretooth is going to be collected because they didn't do Juggernaut. Why would they collect Sabretooth? But
this one's a bit more notable, I think. So it really should be in there.
Well, okay, because it leads into the next Sabretooth and the Exiles or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Again, I've actually been enjoying that one too. I think the Sabretooth stuff is, and I don't care about the character. I don't particularly like Sabretooth, but they're good stories.
Are you caught up, Jess?
No, not yet.
What do you have? You have Dawn, you have Rain, you have the Trials stuff too?
Yeah. I said I wasn't going to do it, and I'm doing it. I have all the Trials, but since I haven't read anything for at least since the beginning of December because of our move.
Yeah.
So I would like to get caught up as soon as I can, because I'm hearing like the current stuff right now, like you said, X-Men Red and Immortal X-Men, that stuff is apparently amazing, and I really want to get caught up.
If you like his very underrated run on Uncanny, Gillen's run, he's back to doing that, and he's got a little more control than he did before. So I was very happy with the direction they were going. You know, not every book is like X-Force is still there. Like X-Force is ups and downs, and I'm like, woo! I jumped the shark a couple times, but it's an X book.
It is a maddeningly bipolar book because when it's good, it's good.
Secret Invasion, Mission Earth, Ryan North and Francisco Mobili doing this 5-issue miniseries, I guess, to tie it into the TV show. And Wolverine, Benjamin Percy still writing it, 26 through 30. And Spidey, somebody was telling me they had a lot of fun with this. Oh, Nick Bradshaw, that's where you've been. I love that guy's artwork. He doesn't do enough internal art. Spidey freshman year. So this is Robbie Thompson, Nick Bradshaw, and friends collecting Spidey 1 through 12 and Spider-Man Master Plan. Full disclosure, jumping a shark isn't as easy as Fonzie made it look. Thank you for that.
I mean, same. Yeah.
Star Wars Legends Epic Collection, Tales of the Jedi, Volume 3. this wraps up that, right, Kurtis? Here, you talk about it, Kurtis. This is your baby.
Yeah, this is the last volume of Tales of the Jedi. I've been actually reading these recently. I'm just finishing up the Sith War miniseries, and this is excellent stuff. Both Tales of the Jedi Volume 2 and Volume 3 are some of the earliest Dark Horse Star Wars comics, and they tell the history of the Sith, and it's just fascinating. I really like it.
Yeah, they start like 25,000 years before the Jedi, right? And each book like gets you closer and closer to, I guess, the Skywalker saga. But we're still 4,000 years away with this one.
Right. Yeah, this is because the first volume deals with the stuff, like tens of thousands of years ago, and then the Sith die out, and then this volume and Volume 2 talk about the Sith coming back, and that's what eventually leads to Darth Vader and stuff. So,
thanks for all your work. I've bought a lot of your recommendations and have rewatched X-Men reading orders so much. I am in collecting them. Good looking. Thank you, Naruto Cruz. Is that your real name? You must be talking to Jess, because I know Jess is notorious for his X-Men reading orders. Tales of the Jedi Omnibus incoming. Well, I got a couple of Star Wars books to announce. That might be one of them. All right, let's keep going. What else we got here? Oh, reprint time, Ghost of the Past. Kurtis, tell me about this one.
This is one of the first Spider-Man epics to come out way back, like eight or 9 years ago, and now it's finally being reprinted for those of you who want it. This is the Tom DeFalco and Ron Frenz era. This is a real troll from Marvel, because Amazing Spider-Man Volume 16 is one that people are always asking for, and Volume 17 got reprinted last month, and Volume 15 is getting reprinted here, but still no word on when Volume 16 is coming up. So thanks, Marvel.
Do you stay up late at night, Kurtis, eyes like poached eggs, worrying about this sort of thing?
Oh, I don't have to. There are lots of people who can do that for me.
Kurtis has a bunch of minions.
Right.
Saying. Speaking of which, Kurtis, I just emailed you the list, but don't look at them until after we're done with the episode, okay?
I already looked.
I don't want you to be like, oh my gosh, it's actually coming. Captain America: The Secret Empire. So we have a new book here. This is the 70s era, right? We got Steve Englehart now, Roy Thomas, Tony Isabella, Captain America 160 to 179, $39.99, 416 pages. I
haven't read any of this. Sorry,
I haven't either. This is past the Kirby stuff, right? Or was this in the first?
No, this is not. This is right in front of the Kirby stuff.
This is in Volume 3, so I have read this. Then I haven't read things past Kirby, like a lot of it in between that and some of the Stern stuff. But what I was gonna, this thing, Englehart and Mike Zeck era. What I was gonna say is that, what makes you think some of these books like are $44.99? And I guess, is it the page count? And then this one is $39.99.
Yeah, there must be a threshold at what page, there's a certain number of pages it jumps up to the next price point, because they have to use more different paper or more paper or whatever. I don't know.
Bar.
Hey, Bar, how's it going? Good to see you. She's from Israel, man.
Yes, I know. I had to ship her books out, and she made up of a fake fan that also lived in Israel, so I sent them some books too. And I feel like that guy never showed up to my streams anymore.
Oh no.
Daredevil Epic Collection, A Touch of Typhoid.
I was talking about how they're reprinting Ann Nesenti's Epic Collections, and this is one of them right here. So we're getting a reprint of this one, which has been out of stock for a long time.
Yeah, happy to have this one. And collecting the Punisher number 10 too. And speaking of Punisher, the only Punisher epic we've had in a couple of years, and it's a reprint, and it's because you guys voted for this one. But this is Punisher Epic Collection, Circle of Blood. And speaking of Mike Zeck, dang, I love his art. 504 pages, $44.99. I think you're right, Kurtis. I think once it goes a certain page count. But collecting the 5-issue mini, the Punisher ongoing, and Daredevil 257, and then Marvel graphic novel Punisher Assassin's Guild.
I actually had a friend tell me that, like, since like the late '80s or whatever, the one comic he's never stopped buying, he will always religiously buy, is The Punisher. And I'm like, I actually find that a little disturbing. That, you know what, X-Men is to Omar, this guy is to the Punisher. I'm like, I like the Punisher, but good grief.
I had when I worked at a local, I'm sorry, it's what Ødfel calls it, LCS.
I'm just lazy. You can call it a comic shop.
I'm lazier. It took me a minute to figure out what that was. So a local comic book store, and it's one of my favorite jobs I've ever had. But I had a customer that bought every DC title, and I mean every DC monthly title.
Mm-hmm.
And The Punisher was the only Marvel book he bought. And I always wondered, his name was Mike.
And The Punisher for dessert.
And Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe was like his favorite book. He's like, I just like the Punisher killing all the Marvel goofy characters. Like, that was his favorite book. All right.
They never, growing up, Punisher
are you sure
never.
You're not friends with Mr. Pepperami?
There you
Punisher's
go.
the only comic book I still buy. I have every single Punisher comic.
Yeah, growing up, I never loved Punisher either. But after reading the epics, and especially that one, Volume 2, it's great. There are some fantastic stories in there. Really great writing.
Oh yeah,
yep,
absolutely.
It's really good.
Mike Barron, Chuck Dixon, Carl Potts. That era of Punisher was my era. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And Garth Ennis brought it back with Welcome Back, Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Have you not read that? You've read that, right, Curtis?
I have.
Okay, yeah. That one is great. Like that's essential. Like reading the Punisher.
There are some excellent Punisher stories, and I read them. I have them. I just this Punisher worship, I get a little concerned.
Deadpool Epic Collection, Dead Reckoning, Volume 4, collecting Deadpool 0, 21 through 33, Deadpool Team Up number 1, and Encyclopedia Deadpoolica.
This one skipped over Volume 3, the Epic Collections. They did Volume 1, 2, and now they've done 4. I'm not sure why they decided to skip ahead like that, but they did.
That's right, because it was coming out in chronological order, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now, if you have the Omnis, this is available in the Joe Kelly Omnibus. So, this is a good one. I like this era of Punisher. $44.99, $472.
Hold on, did the Omnibus also include Deadpool Team Up number 1 and Encyclopedia Deadpoolica?
I believe it did. I know it had the encyclopedia because I have every single one of these single issues, and I ended up giving them to a friend of mine with the stipulation that if he ever wants to sell them, I get 50% because I gave those to him, and he said deal. I ain't talked to him for a bit, so I don't know if he ended up selling them or not. To the Bone Wolverine. This is in the aftermath of that Omnibus Volume 4.
Yeah,
so you can buy Omnibus Volume 4, and this is how they get you. Then you go and buy the Epic Collection, and you'll have a complete run of Wolverine with the exception of all the Marvel Comics Presents, but there's not that many after that. So this collects issues 76 through 86. It's the return of Cyber. I wish they would have done the Marvel Comics Presents. Like, I really like the way they map the X-Men Epic Collections. But I feel like it was crucial to at least include Blood Feud, the one with Cyber. It's the Peter David Sam Keith story. Because the character appears here, and you're like, who the heck is this big guy? So if you're only reading an Epic Collection, it's like
I bet it will be. I bet the Cyber story will be in the Epic Collection. There's room for it. They haven't released that volume yet.
I think it's essential to it. But yeah, I'm happy that this is coming out. It's great and still a good era. Now you have Adam Kubert, the main artist on Wolverine, and he gets a little bit of help from Ian Churchill.
Yeah. I've been buying Wolverine and Epic Collections. I'll probably get this. Tragically, I have to go. I want to thank all of you for having me on, and where I'm going next will not be nearly as much fun as this.
Lars, where can people find you, buddy?
Norwegian.com, and we have some new Doctor Who books coming out. About Time 4, 2nd edition, Volume 1. It actually says it's going to be out in May. It's going to be out in March. And Volume 2 on that says August. It's going to be out in June. So, yep. Check out our About Time series with Doctor Who.
Thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. See you soon.
buddy.
I can't believe you didn't like Walter Simonson.
Man, he sucks the air out of the room.
Yeah, that guy's the worst. All right. New Mutants Epic. By the way, I talk about each one of you behind your backs exactly like that.
You usually say it to my face, though.
I usually do it to Jess's face, but I ain't got enough time today. New Mutants Epic Collection Volume 3. We don't have a Volume 3, huh? I forget. We have Demon Bear Saga, and now we have the Asgardian Wars. Collecting 32 through 44. Annual number 2, New Mutants Special Edition number 1, and X-Men Annual number 9. This is such a great era. Great artwork. Bill Sienkiewicz. Or actually, no, this is Pat. No,
Nope.
we still have some.
This
Bill
is
Sienkiewicz
past.
artwork.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's done
Steve
by now.
Leola joins, and his art I remember was very reminiscent because they were trying to capture that magic of Bill. But you do get some wonderful artwork by Arthur Adams, and man, that cover or that issue right there, when I was a kid, creeped me out. It's the Beyonder killing these kids in the worst possible ways, and I'm like.
Yeah.
At this point, I was reading New Mutants monthly, and I was thinking, are they going to come back? What's happening to them? Yeah, that was a rough issue.
New
Thank
Mutants
you
is
so much.
shockingly dark.
What's that?
So New Mutants can be shockingly dark for what it was. Like it has moments of like, I didn't expect them to go that hard. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. I think when Bill Sienkiewicz came on board, Claremont kind of switched up the story to kind of fit that type of art.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Matt, for the super chat. Hey, all, never bought an Epic. A little intimidated, especially because they are published out of order. Did they stand up by themselves as complete stories? That is a good question. I think some of them do.
The Epic collections mostly collect an era where the writing was such that if you jumped in the middle in issue 86 or whatever, it didn't really matter because they would catch you up to speed really fast. And so, yes, some volumes do work better reading the one before it, but for the most part, you could pretty much jump in. And the thing about this is the Epics have been published for like 10 years now. So most of for most of these runs, most of the volumes are out. There's only a few that are missing. So New Mutants, for instance, we are only missing volume 4 after this one comes out, and then we'll have a complete run of New Mutants and Epic collections.
Oh man, that's crazy. It feels like with these new added titles, like just like yesterday that they added them, and how can they almost be finished? Doctor Strange by Donny Cates. In case you missed out on that era of Doctor Strange, it's been previously published before in a oversized hardcover. But this is the stuff that follows up the Jason Aaron run of Donny Cates, or of Doctor Strange, not Donny Cates. But it's really fun. I like this take on Doctor Strange. Avengers versus X-Men's getting a new printing, collecting just the main event and the 0.1 issue, which leads into that. And Captain Marvel, I love that cover by Kelly Thompson, Volume 1. Wait a minute.
What's that?
This is okay. It's not this is what would be called a complete collection, but it's a trade paperback. It's a fat trade of the first 11 issues plus Marvel The End. This is coming out in omnibus format this year.
Absolutely phenomenal run. If you haven't read Captain Marvel before, it's pretty good as an entry point, and Kelly Thompson does amazing work in this run. Like I've been obsessed with what she's been doing. And the Captain Marvel The End, she actually ties to one of the arcs of Captain Marvel. So it isn't just like a throwaway one shot like a lot of the other ones were. Very, very well done.
100% agree. This is great. And this is the first, this year, finally, Kelly Thompson gets an omnibus, and they haven't cut her off. Like they cut her off on like Mr. and Mrs. X and West Coast Avengers and stuff. They actually let her keep writing Captain Marvel. So she's awesome. And this is one of the best Captain Marvel runs I think I've ever read.
It's definitely my favorite Captain Marvel with Carol as Captain Marvel run, because I did not dig any of the other runs before this one, but Kelly Thompson does a great job. And I really wish that we would get a oversized hardcover or an omnibus, I guess, a slim omnibus of that Black Widow book, because that
was so
so
good too.
That was so good. Captain Marvel, this is the saga of Carol Danvers. It's one of those saga books. They're big, thick books, kind of like Epic collections. And this is collecting Captain Marvel 1 through 8 and 17, and then the life of Captain Marvel 1 through 5. in case you've missed that. I think that's been available in trade paperback and in a Marvel premiere. That's a pretty solid read. And the 2012 series, that's the Kelly Sue the Conic series.
Mm-hmm.
But Margaret Stoll is the lady that wrote The Life of Captain Marvel. It's got some good artwork too. And we're also getting the Saga of Monica Rambeau. Love it. Because look, man, they're using the font Captain Marvel, and they're using Captain Marvel, like the Roger Stern, the classic Captain Marvel. This was my Captain Marvel growing up, and then she kind of went away because so did the character, and nobody really did anything with her. And then we got Janice Vell. So this collects pretty much her earlier appearances, including a lot of some of the Roger Stern stuff from the annual 16 of Spider-Man, the Avengers stuff, Marvel Team Up, Captain Marvel #1. And have you all read this stuff? My mom's here, so I got to talk to her for a second.
I have not read a lot of this stuff. I have bits and pieces, but this is a character that I only really know from Roger Stern's Avengers run, but not anything that she's done solo. Yeah, and it's nice to see this is almost all exclusively classic material, not modern stuff at all, which is unusual for the Saga books. Usually they try to stick the new stuff in there. How about you two? What do you know about this character?
I've really been enjoying her. She hasn't been in a whole lot of modern stuff to a capacity where I feel like they would have included it. I think these are going to be extremely hot books, though, because if they're coming out in June, that's around the same time that the Marvels comes out. So these are absolutely going to be kind of like movie companions, and I expect them to be very, very hard to find, honestly, because of that. And especially the Monica ones, because she is such kind of an underrated character. This being a summary book, I feel like is going to be a lot harder to find than Carol's.
I haven't read this at all. I know zero, so I'm super excited to get this.
You've seen her character before, though, right?
Yeah, but just bits and pieces, like Ødfel was saying, in modern stuff. But if this fleshes it out completely, this is something I really want to get.
Okay, just sorry, my mom came over to drop off something, and I had to say hi. That was completely unexpected because I'm in my basement by myself. Who the heck?
Mom, I'm on a live stream.
Shut up. She doesn't. I don't live with my mom, and oh my god, that sounds awful. Like I'm in my basement. It's my house. All right. Anyway, if you have the Captain Marvel Monica Rambeau book, it's a trade paperback. I believe it came out in 2019, 2018. It's the exact same thing, except it's rebranded. I don't know if you all remember that trade paperback. It's got her in her classic outfit flying, and it's called Captain Marvel Monica Rambeau. It's the exact same. It's got a couple more pages, so I'm sure that's the extras, but it's the exact same concept. In case you have it, I would hate for somebody to double dip.
I'm sure I'll double dip.
I knew I should have said that. Yeah. All right. Captain Marvel, Game On. And this is a digest book. And these are usually geared towards all ages, or ages 10 through 14. So we can't read
this
it.
is collecting the IDW series, I think. Marvel Action, Captain Marvel. Wasn't that the IDW one?
That was, that's that was the run that they did. It's mainly geared towards kids, right? Taken out of continuity.
Yeah.
You need to start doing your own laundry. Boy, I'm never gonna hear the end of that one. I'll have to thank my mom later for just showing up out of the blue. Mighty Marvel Masterworks, The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 4. I'm so happy they're continuing these. I love these stories. And my kids, they just finished Black Panther. We're gonna review that, and we're going through Namor next. And it's adorable to see my kids. My oldest daughter asked me, like, why are black people in Wakanda the color gray? Did they not have the right color tones back in the 60s to color them? I was like, that's a good point. I don't know the answers to these questions. And all the people that created the books are long gone, so I don't know if anybody has the answers anymore. But this collects Amazing Spider-Man 29 through 38. And Marvelverse. This is the smaller books that kind of work as an introduction to these characters. And this is Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, collecting Edge of Spider-Verse 2, which is her first appearance, Spider-Gwen 5, and Spider-Gwen 1 and 2, and number 13. And Spider-Woman. I wonder if she's showing up in the movie.
She is, yep.
Oh, you know this?
Yeah.
She's in the trailer.
What?
Go watch the trailer, Omar.
I did watch. Oh my gosh. Is there a new trailer?
They retooled her design quite a bit, so it is difficult to clock, but yeah, she's in it.
Spider-Woman 1, this is such a good point, Lay. They couldn't even color Hulk green correctly without it going crazy.
Good point.
That is such a good point. Collecting Spider-Woman 1, 20, Marvel Team Up 97, and Avengers Assemble 18 through 19. And at this moment, I just want to remind everybody, if you live in Europe, check out Walt's Comic Shop. They're based out of Berlin, Germany. They have a website, I don't even know why I said that. WaltzComicShop.com. Flat shipping rates of 12 euros for all EU countries. And they have a lot of out-of-print books. And if you tell them, if you write the code near me condition at the checkout, all one word, you get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order of over 40 euros. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for Omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Tang, my wife's the one that sings. I do not. Thank you for that, Dark Side Studios. You remember. Mom, Meatloaf. Y'all need to drop that. I do not live with my parents.
Too late. It's too late.
I am my own man. I have my own basement.
That is such a great scene.
Well, I should have just said I got visitor. Dang it. All right. Let's go back to the beginning and play a little catch up and then talk about these books and which ones we're the most excited for. For anybody that missed it, Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 3. Amazing Spider-Man by Nick Spencer Omnibus Volume 2. And the Avengers 3 and 4, those are being reprinted with a brand new number 5 also coming on in September. So if you're a Avengers fan, save your money for September. Just saying, because you also get Captain America Lives and Captain America, The Trial of Captain America Omnibus. Thor by Jason Aaron coming out in October. This is Volume 2, collecting the rest of Jason Aaron's run on Thor. X-Men The Hidden Years by John Byrne. Where the heck is Lars? He said John Byrne's name sells. They didn't put John Byrne's name on the cover. Just the signature. And Wolverine Omnibus Volume 4. All 3 covers. Sins of Sinister, oversized hardcover. And Marvel Zombies Return. So Marvel's Omnibus returns. And 2 covers for those. Alpha Flight coming back to print. As well as the Marvel Studios Werewolf by Night, the art of the special. And now we're moving on to the Marvel Masterworks. We have a volume 22 of the Mighty Thor. And we have the remasterworks of Fantastic Four 2 and Spider-Man 2. And we have the new series here, new trades, Fantastic Four by Ryan North, volume 1, with a beautiful cover by Alex Ross. Star Wars Darth Vader 6. Star Wars The High Republic Blade. All these books will be out, or this catalog and solicits will be out here in the next 3 weeks, I think. Everywhere else, we just have exclusive first look at these books. So thank you to David Gabriel and Marvel for sending us our way. Star Wars The Hidden Empire trade. And oh my gosh, you guys still going on about the freaking basement?
This is great. Michael Emmond has something really funny.
I don't want to even click that. Captain America Symbol of Truth, Volume 2. Black Panther by John Ridley. People want to know how I can afford all these books. Now you know the secret. I live with my mom in her basement. I'm not a self-made man.
I can't wait for everyone to clip that specifically out of context.
I don't care.
That is so great. Yeah.
Thor, The Legacy of Thanos, and Planet Hulk, World Breaker. I did that for you, brother.
Thank you.
Gold Goblin and Unforgiven, which sounds like a freaking awesome concept. He's the sheriff of Dracula's world. What? Spider-Man, The Lost Hunt, and Wasp, Small World, and Deadpool. By the way, I'm not making fun of anybody that still lives with their mom. More power to you, and save that money and get your books. Just saying. Deadpool by Alyssa Wong, Volume 1. Trials of X-11, Secret Invasion Mission Earth, and Wolverine. Man, there's a lot of books in this solicits. Benjamin Percy 5, Spidey, Freshman Year. I think that's the whole series right there. and Epic Collection Star Wars Tales of the Jedi Volume 3. Now I'm getting pity. You ain't got to do. I'm gonna super chat you, Matthew. You ain't got to do that. Here's a couple bucks. Sorry about the basement. Come on, man. Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection coming back to print. Volume 15, Ghosts of the Past. Captain America Epic Collection, The Secret Empire. I'm gonna get my mom on my Saturday stream to show you all up. Talk about it like that. Daredevil Epic Collection, A Touch of Typhoid, and Punisher Epic Collection, Circle of Blood. Deadpool Epic Collection, Dead Reckoning. I think there is a bar called Mom's Basement. It's like
love that.
It's a geek bar. They got comics and toys and stuff. Where was it? I think it's in Georgia somewhere.
I'm about to go. I'm about to fly out there.
It sounds like what a cool name. I mean, not really, but you know.
Clever named bars are fun.
Fact. Wolverine Epic Collection Volume 7, To the Bone. The new I gotta stop reading the stupid chat. I'm gonna disable the chat here in a second.
That's all I'm reading right now.
The New Mutants Epic Collections, Asgardian Wars Volume 3, Doctor Strange by Donny Cates. So this is one that was. It looks like it's one of those complete collections, not modern epics either. So it's just trade paperback is what they're doing. No labels on it. Avengers versus X-Men, Captain Marvel, same thing as that Donny Cates Doctor Strange by Kelly Thompson Volume 1. That got a seal of approval from everybody except Kurtis, but that's because Kurtis doesn't like female-led books.
Oh, holy cow.
Girl hater.
Not true.
He doesn't like Dazzler.
Yeah.
Hey,
Whoa,
come on.
2 in a row.
No,
I'm just waiting for it to come in epics. As soon as it's in epics, I'll read it.
Oh, okay. Captain Marvel.
And I'll read this Captain Marvel based on all your recommendations because it sounds really good.
It is
It
good.
honestly is.
And you have read Monica Rambeau, so you get a pass. It's called, there it is. Derek would know. Derek, it's called My Parents' Basement. It's in the Atlanta area. Thank you so much, Derek.
I'm gonna find that next Dragon Con. Although Dragon Con's probably the worst weekend to try and get it in. But
I was gonna say everybody's gonna go, but I feel like you get like that experience of like conventions, like at this place.
That's really cool.
And Captain Marvel Game On, which was the issues were published by IDW, right? Like the kids issues, Kurtis.
I think so. Yeah.
Geared towards kids. Yeah. And Mighty Marvel Masterworks, The Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 4, The Master Planner. Oh, that's got If This Be My Destiny. Oh, that's even got a homage cover. That's cool. Marvelverse Spider-Gwen Go Spider, and Marvelverse Spider-Woman. And that's it. Now, I'm going to ask you all and everybody in the chat if we can stop talking about my mom's basement, please.
Sure.
What is the one book you're most excited for out of the entire solicitations here? There's a lot of books.
Omar's Mom's Basement by Omar's Mom.
Kick you. Don't talk about my mom again or you get kicked off the stream.
I really want to know what Omar's mom's book of the month is. What does she pick?
Okay, kick him out.
Yeah, he's about to get gone, but I need him here for a second.
Screaming.
What is this? What are you doing to my viewers, Jazz?
What?
Look, now you've got Reaper XC saying hello, Omnidog and Entourage. Like this ain't Jess's house.
I live in my wife's basement.
Even Omar's mom likes Dazzler. Kurtis, thank you for the super
Oh boy.
chat.
It's become feral.
Is that me giving myself a super chat?
I think that's you giving the money back.
Oh, that's me giving the money back to Matthew.
Money laundering right here.
Not at all. All right.
Oh my god.
Ladies first, Ødfel, what's the one book you're most excited for here?
Honestly, the one I see myself picking up the most is probably the Kelly Thompson collection of Captain Marvel, because I have it mostly in individuals, and I think I want to say that's combining the first two, because I think the first trade paperback they dropped was like 5 issues and the second was like 7. So I would much rather just have it all in one issue, and they haven't really collected any of her work like that. So that's the one I'm probably most excited for.
So that's this one down here. I love that I have, you all like different things. So Captain Marvel, Kelly Thompson, Volume 1. Yeah,
I'm a
the
trade
first
paperback
11
girl.
issues. So I believe that is the first 2 trades. What about you, Kurtis? What are you most excited for? Which epic?
I'm going for the Star Wars Tales of the Jedi. I've been reading these digitally on Marvel Unlimited, but I'll be really happy to have a physical copy in my hands.
Okay, and this wraps up Tales of the Jedi, right? Awesome. All right, Omnidog. What about you, my guy?
I think Sins of Sinister OHC, because I either have in OHC all those. Oh well, I want to get Wolverine Volume 4, but I already have like Ultimate Spidey and Jason Aaron's Thor in OHC. Otherwise, I'd be excited for those. But I've heard such good things about Sins of Sinister, so I'm really looking forward to this.
That's a good choice. And for me, I gotta go with Wolverine Omnibus 4.
Yeah,
that's my pick. That's the one that I wanted for a long time, and I'm gonna get that text cover. That's a great cover.
Which one? Oh, the text cover.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just has a lot of good stories, and it's got great artwork, and it's got the very first issue by Adam Kubert in there, and that's a really powerful issue, especially that last part of issue 75. It's got some really good one shots. Oh man, and then it's got the follow up to the Shiva scenario, which has like the rest of the Weapon X people and what's happening to them, like Silver Fox and Maverick and John Wraith, those characters who appears in the movie.
I haven't read this stuff, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right. Let me see what the rest of the chat has put. I'm gonna start banning people for making jokes.
You've got 2 super chats.
Yeah, I got those. This one here. Which cracked me up, and this one just makes me sad. All right,
Bar sent you one in shekels or whatever they have in Israel.
Is that what they use, shekels? Is that right?
Historically, going back to, I don't know what they use now, but Bar sent you a super
I'll look at it here in a second. I ain't got time for Bar right now.
Bar's great.
Spider-Man Volume 3 and Jason Aaron's Thor Volume 2 main picks for me, but there's some really good selection in this preview. Absolutely. Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 3, Ultimate Spider-Man 3, all about that. Ultimate Spider-Man 3, most anticipated book of the year for me. Bring on Volume 4, Omar. I ain't got no power there. Wolvie 4, hard to pick. Ultimate Spider-Man and Wolverine Omni. I'll pick for you, Darkside Studio, Wolverine. Ultimate Spider-Man and Wolverine Epic. Omar's Basement Grand Design. That's the last one I read. How many of these did you guys write? Oh my gosh. Okay, there's
so many.
Wolverine Omnibus Volume 4, Ultimate Spider-Man. My mom has no idea what she just did. She's going about her business. Ultimate Spider-Man 3 and Wolverine 4. Avengers 5 all the way. Yes. Let's see. All the Omnis, but looking forward to Sins of Sinister hardcover. Love the new Wave of X series. And there's that much of a gap between real answers and this. Pricing month, Ultimate Spider-Man 3, Spencer 2, Thor 2, Trial of Cap reprint, Amazing Spider-Man by Spencer 2, Ultimate Spider-Man 3, Wolverine 4. There's a lot of Ultimate Spider-Man 3. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Spencer, Spidey all the way. And forgot about Aaron Volume 4. Is Marvel Unlimited worth it? I don't use it. Do you all use it? Anybody here use it?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's great.
I use it quite a bit, actually. I read all my modern comics on Marvel Unlimited. And like I said, the Star Wars stuff, I've been reading a lot of the Star Wars stuff that isn't in Epics yet on it.
Okay. Forgot Thor.
If you're on the fence about it, wait for a big convention, like a comic convention, because a lot of times they'll put out a discount code for like a free month or something, and then you can kind of see what's on there and see if you're interested.
That's some good advice. Leave the basement. Thank you for that, Bar. I really appreciate that. I'm looking forward to Jason Aaron's Thor 2, and Ultimate Spider-Man 3. My favorite Omni this preview is Thor 2 and Wolverine 4. There's a lot of good books.
Mm-hmm.
SOS and Thor Volume 2, Ultimate Spider-Man 3, Thor by Aaron 2. My goodness. Those announcements were really close, too. Josh, you too? At 2, Josh? Softcover Omar, we know your allowances. I misread something Bar wrote. It's an inside joke. Leave me alone. Both Spidey Omnis and Epics Volume 15. I've got to buy a new bookshelf. That's priority.
We all do. We all do.
Tough picks, but Alpha Flight by John Byrne, The Trial of Captain America. Hi, Omar. I asked you on Saturday why Ultimate End by Bendis and Bagley wasn't in the Miles Omni. Do you think it will be in the final Peter U.S. Ultimate Spider-Man Omni? But Ultimate End happens during Secret Wars, doesn't it? So I think chronologically it should have been in the first omnibus, right? The first Miles Morales omnibus. I don't know. I mean, maybe they could put it in the 5th omnibus. That's a good question.
I haven't read that. Is it a Peter story or a Miles story?
It's by Bendis and Bagley, I think. It's Ultimate End. Yeah. Let me look it up really quick. Because I want to say that one was written around the same time that 2015. So it's a Secret Wars tie-in. So I don't know. I mean, there is something big that happens in that one, but I don't know why it wasn't put in there. Thor Volume 2 and Wolverine 4, SOS, and Thor Volume 2 hype. I love all these answers. Volume 3 of Ultimate Spider-Man and Volume 4 of Wolverine and Thor 2. Thor Omnibus Volume 2. Shekels. That is right. Maybe. Alpha Flight by Byrne, John Byrne's Omnibus, Wolverine Epic, and Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus. I sent it super. I just read it, Josh. It wasn't even that. I'm catching up with the chat. You know, people that are actually writing answers. Star Wars Epic Collection and Wolverine 4. I want the 2 saga of books from here. Awesome. Good choices. I'm excited for all Black Widow stuff, which is lacking here. Ultimate Spider-Man 3, 1 shekel equals 29 cents. Oh, awesome. Event. I'm not reading that. Spidey freshman year. There we go.
I'm not reading that.
Omar's marching upstairs, giving his mom an earful right after.
Mom, I was streaming.
He's visiting my house and dropping something off and then taking off with my dad to go see my brother about an hour away.
Unless
that's the story. Wolverine Volume 4, Omni all the way. Ultimate Spider-Man and Thor are already available in oversized format. X titles took a dip after Inferno.
Perhaps.
No Trigonoses.
Yeah.
No, they
I'm
did
not sure. I love Trigonoses, but I don't necessarily agree with that.
No, they got some of them got good. Omar's mom and Alf versus Omar. Thank you for that, Jeff.
I would pay for that comic.
No, nobody should.
Frame it on the wall.
Surprised there's no 3rd cover for Aaron Thor Volume 2. None of the covers piqued my interest. So that means you're not going to get it, Dean. You've been asking for that dumb book for over a year now. No deal. Ultimate End should be in Secret Wars Compendium. Oh, yeah, maybe it would be in a Secret Wars Omnibus because I think there's enough for like 2 Omnis with all those battle worlds. I'm happy for Thor 2, but I got to get the Daughterman cover for Volume 1, and neither of those Volume 2 go with that. So there won't be really looking like I said. Well, the spines will match, though, right? Because the spines will match unless you put your books with the cover out. Then you're right. Ultimate End fits right in between the 2 Miles Omnis. Right, because Miles 1 ends with Secret Wars. So I'm assuming the only way they're going to put it anywhere would be in a No We the Not Golden Dog, no Roomwald Omnibus. Avengers Omnis, Alpha Flight, and Wolverine 4. Thor 3. Omar, did Marvel stop doing the Marvel monographs? They did. Been a while since they've done one. They did stop doing those. And let's see. Omar, when does Volume 1 of the Why?
Momnibus.
I gotta read these first. What's the worst Spidey run? Mackey Byrne to Falco's 2nd ASM run, Kavana, Fingeroth, Web of Spider-Man, or something else. Man, you went hardcore with the. The only thing I don't see in here. No, you covered some of the worst runs. That Mackey burn. Oof. Though some of the brand new day stuff was a little rough too. Oh man, I had just found out that I still had that Wolverine Global Jeopardy floppy with the WWF logo and everything. Yeah. Now, that's it. Forgot about the Paul Jenkins, right? I wasn't the biggest fan of Jenkins's run. What's your least favorite run on Spidey, Kurtis? You have one?
Well, I mean, Sins Past was the story that made me stop buying it on a monthly basis. I never went back to buying it on a monthly basis. So
yeah,
I'm gonna have to say that.
I'm with Kurtis. I think that's my least favorite. I know most people probably hate One More Day more, but Sins Past was a smack to the face to the legacy of a certain character.
Sins Past, it was like a train hitting the biggest building and stopped my momentum. I never even went back to that book. It ruined my experience. I was reading that with Omnicat, and we both just stopped.
Oh man.
Sneaking up.
I mean, I've read. What unannounced modern epic line are you excited for? Unannounced? Oh man.
Sins Past.
Sins Past modern Spider-Man modern epic collection. Boy, that's a hard question. I don't know.
Wow.
There's so much. The problem with the modern stuff is that there's just so much material there. I would love to see Jason or Jonathan Hickman Fantastic Four in a modern epic, although I have those complete collections, so maybe that doesn't, I don't care about that. Man, I don't know. Just give me something and I'll read it, because I haven't read a whole lot of the modern stuff. I'll
answer for him. He's really looking forward to Trouble by Mark Miller and Terry Dodson. Marvel Modern Epic. Ødfel, there's a question for you right here. What cosplay have you not tried but really want to?
I'll take this more as like what's like my next one or one I really want to do. Because I don't know, I've done most genres at this point. I don't know. I've done armor builds before, but one I really want to work on is full Varia suit for Metroid, and I want to put in Light and Smoke. But I've done armor before, so it's not really like one I haven't tried, but I don't
know. Jess, any good run-ins with what?
I didn't move to a retirement community. Goofball. What the hell?
Are you calling me a goofball?
No, I'm calling Reaper. What? Octane? It's not like I moved to a retirement village.
I was singing you praises earlier.
I know. No, there are no octogenarians. There's no 80-year-olds here.
Oh, those guys. That's where he's going with that.
Yeah. He's saying I moved to a retirement village. How dare you?
I'm going to take a couple more questions. I got to go and pick up my kids. What is your take on the Hama on Wolverine? Started reading it, not a big fan. I love it. It's my favorite era of Wolverine because he takes Wolverine back to the roots and putting him places that we hadn't seen him before in a while. He takes him out of Madripoor, which I like that era. But he goes back to Japan, and kind of reconnects with Mariko and all that clan, and then brings back the X-Men, makes Jubilee a supporting cast member, answers the big question between Sabretooth and Wolverine, and goes back to Wolverine number 10. And I love what he does with that idea of going back, like doing a sequel to Weapon X. Like, it's my favorite run of Wolverine, and it's got beautiful artwork by Silvestri. But if you're not digging it, I mean, it may not be for you. It's it's not for everybody.
I feel like okay. Hama. Oh, sorry.
I apologize. Reaper was talking about last summer when that old lady. I was wearing a mask in the post office, and I see what you were talking about, Reaper. I apologize. Somebody explained it later. I was at the post office wearing a mask as I walked out, and some whale lady said, "I'm not wearing my mask anymore." And I I said IDGAF as I walked past, and that's what he's referring to. I thought you meant like this mask. You meant my COVID mask. Sorry, Reap. No old ladies have bitched me out.
Went off on the poor guy because your memory sucks.
That was last summer, man. I'm having trouble remembering yesterday.
Oh my god.
Some days I feel like that. Omar, do you think there's a chance Marvel starts making omnibuses about the current X runs that collects issues already in hardcover format? That is the big question. I think yes, sometime. Absolutely. Every time he says Japan, I expect that clip to. I know I failed this time around because I got caught with everything else going on. There we go. Japan. And we'll do one more question. And while we're taking a question, I just want to thank my panel of co-hosts, including Lars, who had to step away early. But let's go round table. Where can people find you when you're not hanging out with me? Kurtis.
I have a Facebook group. If you search for Epic Collections, I think it's facebook.com/group/Epic Collections. I think that's all it is. But yeah, we talk about epics all the time. And we will be doing, Omar and I will be doing a live stream, I think, next week, right?
Yeah, next Wednesday or Thursday. Gotta look at my calendar, get mom approved.
And we will be revealing all of the all of the December 2023 and January 2024 Epic collections at that live stream, so you can check that out. Okay. Oh, and I haven't posted a podcast episode in a while, but I actually did post one this last Friday. And hoping to get back on a semi-regular schedule. I've just become very busy recently, but we'll get back on track with that.
Omnidog, where can people find you?
You can find me on Omnidog's Vault on YouTube, where I am back up and broadcasting now. And I will, Omnidogs_Vault on Instagram. I'll be doing an overview of the Momnibus tomorrow.
I'll be tuning in for that.
Thank you.
That would have been funny if my mom was not involved. Then it was not funny and not hot at all. So
just
never
mind.
mind.
Dropped your lunch off. You shouldn't be
she
embarrassed.
did not even drop my lunch off. Ødfel, where can people find you when you're not hanging out with these losers?
Yes. I am on Ødfel on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, on Twitter. It's with a 0 instead of an O. I also have a Patreon where I show cosplay progress and stuff, and a YouTube where I do gaming streams and statue and toy unboxings, because as you can see, I have a problem. So, yeah, pretty much this username on everything. Sometimes there's just some spelling stuff, but yeah.
All right. And that's it. Thank you again to David Gabriel and everyone at Marvel for sending us this early info. Do not read anymore.
I'm just watching these. I've been watching these comments. I'm just here.
Where can we see your mom on social media?
No, my mom got social. Actually, she does. Anyway, if you live in America, check out cheapgraphicnovels.com. Tell them Near Me Condition sent you their way for free shipping on your next order after your first one. So that's it, everybody. I do have to go and get the kiddos. So stay healthy and safe out there and have a great one. And I'll be back later today with another episode.